So the first thing I wanted to go over was hole punching, because I think that with practice, pretty much anyone can pick this one up. It's not too bad. I apologize in advance, I don't have a printer, so I just kind of wrote up a problem for us to do together, which is this. I'm using a candle to hold it up. Yeah, so when you go to the hole punching section of the PAT, this is the first thing you're going to see. And I know it looks a little overwhelming right now, but I'm just going to walk us through it together. So first, here are our solutions. We have 5 options for what the potential answer may be. And above, we're given, let's just say it's a piece of paper. We're given a square piece of paper with folds in it and a hole punch in it. And our job is to determine if we fold the paper up, punch a hole in it, and unfold the paper, where are those holes going to be, which is these answers below. Are holes going to be here? Are the holes going to be right here? Are the holes going to be just across? Yeah, so that is our job. The other thing you should know is that there can be 2 punches in a piece of paper, not just one. It's not always going to be one. There can also be more than 3 folds, or 2 folds. There can be multiple folds, and it varies from problem to problem, and the more complicated ones have obviously more holes and more folds. So we're going to start off with a relatively easy one. And whenever I'm doing these problems, I think the best thing that helped me become familiar with it was starting with sticky notes, because they're already square. So I'm just going to take a sticky note. Actually, I should probably explain something else first. So when we look at these, dotted lines represent empty space, and they just kind of help us visualize where that square is going to be, whereas solid lines either represent the paper's edge or a fold. Yeah, so that's it. So looking at this first one, if this is our piece of paper completely unfolded, and this is where no paper exists, then that must mean that this line is a fold and this line is an edge. That makes sense. So I'll show you right here. We're just going to fold this in half like that. Boom. And now we have, that's our first fold. And it's folded from behind up on itself. In our next panel, we have no paper all the way along here, but we do have paper's edge here and a fold here, and that means this must be a fold because we just kind of lost our paper edge right there. So we're going to fold it right across like that. Boom, done. In our next panel, we have a very similar situation where we kind of lost some of our paper's edge here, but we do have this line and we do have this line, and we lost this. And I think the only solution that could be was another fold on top of itself, which you can do on the PAT. It will fold over existing folds, which is what makes this section kind of complicated at times. So I'm just going to do it again. I'm going to fold it over top. And then, as you can see, we now have our final shape. My roommate was kind enough to let me use her hole punch, so I have a hole punch right here. I'm just going to punch a hole in the existing space. Okay. So now you can see that we have the exact same thing. We've done all the folds, and so now we're going to unfold it to find out which one is correct. So we're going to just unfold it like this. And the trouble with using sticky notes is that they are sticky. I'm going to unfold it, boop, and there's our solution. So now just looking at this, we can see that this cannot be A, obviously cannot be B because we're missing these 2 holes right here. It can't be C because that would ignore the fact that we have this fold. It cannot be D because it does not include these side folds, which means the answer is E.